Welcome back to Urban Lifestyle Cafe. Welcome back to Urban Lifestyle Cafe. I'm your bougie black brother Michael, and here's our session on movies. And I got a special guest with me. It's my daughter Milan.
Hello, everybody. My name's Milan. Nice to meet everyone who's listening.
So Milan and I always love movies, so I wanted to start inviting her on certain movies that we go to and giving her input on some of them as well. So she's very eclectic. We'll do the Japanese, we do foreign films, we do a lot of them. And then when we have our conversation, it's a lot more interesting in certain ways. So I really invited her for us to do a movie that I've watched for a long time. It was a Japanese anime called Ghost in the Shell. And fantastic sci-fi movie based on cybernetics and how certain people were actually had like cybernetic eyes and arms and different things in that. And Milan, you didn't see the anime. You just saw the movie first and then saw the anime.
I've seen the anime. I've actually seen it more than once. It actually comes
Really?
on Cartoon Network too.
Yep.
So, and I think I watched it with you back when we used to watch all the little anime movies too.
Yeah. So that I always thought it was fantastic, and they was kept talking about making a live action movie of that. So one of the big things that I did was they have a series also in Ghost in the Shell. Mm-hmm. So, and that's on Cartoon Network.
Okay, yeah, sometimes.
I think it's Standalone Complex, The Laughing Man, and I think it's two other ones. But it's a total of 4 different ones. But they're series. So they're like 30-minute series. Did you see any of those?
I think I have, but I just never been really just did a
Following
sat down, and following through.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little older now, so it's like it's hard to sit down and watch a lot of those together. But the kids love it. The kids actually watch a lot of those animes too,
and they're fantastic, even though it's subtitles and all. So I always think subtitles is really good for children.
Yes, it is,
because it's a good reading exercise.
Yes, it
is, and then we go from there. So let's go backwards first.
Okay.
So even though we both saw the live action with Scarlett Johansson,
right?
Let's start with the anime first.
Okay.
So when you first saw that, or you saw it again, what was your impression? You saw that. How did you expect the live action to be?
Well, with me seeing the anime, it would have been very weird on how they would have did the live one,
right?
Because there's so much things going on just from off that movie, and it would just really be hard to transition that to human wise or whatever like that. So it was a little iffy about, like I said, how they would take that beyond. But the anime was great. The characters, I loved each and every one of them. They played their part. And they was beating on some people's butt all the time.
All through it, right?
And they showed true friendship. I can't remember the guy.
Bato.
Yep.
Bato and Major.
Yep.
And it was like a couple of other guys.
That was
pretty
with them
cool.
too.
Yeah. But what made it interesting, and it did it on the actual movie too, is they still had the one human guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He had no cybernetics on him.
No, he didn't have any.
And he didn't want it, and he was kind of like, no, I don't want it to happen.
He was like, I'm good.
I'm good the way I'm at, right? So the storyline premise is from the anime was there was somebody that was hacking the network and really being a rebel in the network,
right?
The internet, everything. And what's that? Section 9,
right?
Was the group that they were in. So the Major, Bato, and all the other, because I only know really them two. And then,
me too.
And then the head guy, the
I can't remember
the old man.
Yeah,
he was fantastic.
He was a beast.
He was cool on the
movie.
On the movie too.
I loved his part on the movie.
So he's a good Japanese actor.
Yes,
he does. I seen him in a couple of movies that he played like a gangster.
Yeah.
So he was really, really good. I just enjoy when he act. But they was chasing this guy down. That wasn't The Laughing Man. The Laughing Man is the other one. This was I keep forgetting this guy. But they were chasing him down and trying to find who was doing these little things. But Major on the anime, she was just trying to find out, how do I get into the network and find this guy?
Right.
So when you was looking at that portion, and I know we going back and forth from the movie or that, but when you was watching the anime, did it confuse you, or you was just patient enough to say, when will we get to that point?
It was a little confusing from me not seeing the anime in a while, but seeing the movie. It did kind of throw me off a little bit because, it was just like, it was still constant, you know what I'm saying, with things changing up quickly. But it didn't get with the movie, the anime, it didn't get into detail of the relationship, how she got there and all of that or whatever, that if I was paying attention, but I was to a certain extent. It died down to me with some of the parts, but overall, her personality was very outgoing. She was a very outgoing person. She was cool. You know what I'm saying? She
had humor.
Yeah, she actually did, and she was actually really cool. And it was funny because in the anime, when they was on the boat, she went to talking like in a machine. He was just looking.
Yeah, he was looking at her like,
"Is that you?
What's going on with your ass?"
She was getting hacked, I guess, at that time or whatever. Which she was even confused. Was like, I didn't say that. Where did this come from? So
it's the puppet master,
right?
So the puppet master, they kind of named him because he would go into people and make them do certain things.
Right?
But he would go through them through the network.
Exactly.
So the society that they were in, it was really interesting because, everyone had some kind of hookup in the back of their neck.
Exactly.
And then you plug up, and if you plug up, then the problem is you're in the network,
hacked, right? So
you can get hacked.
But kind of like The Matrix.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And they have a lot of other movies that's similar on that aspect, which make you think about, in the future or even current, do they have these certain things where you get reaching a network? But that's just like us in the computer network as we are in right now. We're getting hacked all the time from our phones, computer, or whatever not.
Yep.
So it is going to be a point in the future where we will be in some type of machinery of our arm, leg, and stuff, and they are advancing to that. But particularly with this, it was just very interesting because it was a lot of hacking going on or whatnot.
Yep.
So, and a lot, like you said, hacking to this person and kill these individuals or whatever. So he was able to do a lot of that.
Right.
Or whatnot, which was very interesting because I'm very, with this technology that's going on, this movie is very interesting, and it has you think outside of the box of the norm in what we have going on in society right now.
So think about that. We talk about hacking, and you turn on the news, and all you hear is Russia hacking us during our election. So we think our election is secure. All these lines are secure. No, they're not. And then when you're doing it, because our government is hacking into certain things. So what makes you think that no one else is? So it's interesting, and there's a company, I think it's in Washington State, but they're actually installing chips into people who work there.
Right.
So they'll be
heard about
able.
that.
Yeah. See. So here we go. So this is why, if you look at this movie deeper, and we still stay with the anime because that's where I got my thoughts from, and not the actual movie.
Right.
If you start having chips within you that control certain things, body and mind wise,
yes,
but it's external as well, that somebody can hack actually into it.
Exactly.
That's kind of scary.
It is, but it's interesting because when I was working at Walmart, just like with the new chips that's in the cards right now, just for people to get your card information in that chip, they could be miles away from you and use a scanning, like a little scanning machine thing, and scan and get your chip information immediately like this. Before, they had to get the black strip.
Yep.
So now it's more advancing to that aspect. And it's so much more much more that they have going out. But I did, in the military has even more tech that they are using to advance their soldiers. Right. And it's funny, like just like you're saying with the anime, sticking to that, the same similar things that they have in there, from the arm, you know what I'm saying, from the speed eyes, in the arms. Bato, had the 3D eye thing. They're wearing the glasses for that. They actually have the arm, some things that the military add onto their arms for arm strength. Mm-hmm. They have things for your legs. You can attach onto the legs for speed and high jumping. Yep. They have the chips now to control kind of them from in the field or whatever, because some of them they're really not in that mindset to be prepared for those circumstances. So that gets them there. That helps them to get them there. So this goes to, I don't know what year this anime is supposed to be in, right. But it is in the making every year that is coming around. It's in the making.
So being in the military, you're absolutely right. They need military type people to be able to start saying, I don't need this. Right. I don't want military people to think about killing or going into certain ways. So if you can modify or add to the strength, exactly, the ability to give a certain mindset. There was another show or movie that was actually showing them the soldiers saw people as being dangerous or diseased, and they was killing them because they altered their visual eyes to see them and be like, yo, these people are evil. We got to kill them. And I was like, wow, what the hell is that?
It's funny that you say that, because they do have something in particular of that, because I watch all type of videos and stuff, but there was something that they're altering their thinking. They're altering their thinking to have them feel or have something come to their mind, even if that's immediately like, kill, you know what I'm saying?
So the adrenaline is just like, whoa.
And it comes to their mind instead of their regular thinking. But it's crazy, because once again, this is the advancement in technology. Yep. And once again, there have been experiments been going on, you know what I'm saying? But it's just being more advanced now, you know what I'm saying? Because there's more things that have been built in the tech now, you know what I'm saying? So that's very important, which that is to keep aware about, you know, what's going on
what's
with
really
us.
Going on, right?
Because they really say what I've read about, that a good 60% or so of people are chipped. But most people are not going to know that, because you do have to get some type of scanning to verify where the chips would be at. So a lot of people are not going to know. And this goes into deep in depth about even certain ways people act. You know what I'm saying? Abnormal acting.
So it still may, on one sense, it may be to the benefit of people. Well, I have epilepsy. I have epilepsy. But if I have this chip put in your brain, what it does when you're getting an epileptic fit, it triggers the chip to say, calm the mind down or do something else. So they're going to say, but this benefits you.
Right.
But then you can do a lot more by having that chip
hacked.
in you. Yeah. Once again,
but if somebody
freaking hacked.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
But it's funny, because that movie, actually, it was an old movie, and with not Samuel, but the guy, I forgot. It's a known actor. And I can't believe that I can't get his name right now. But
what's it about? What is it about?
Well, it was the two military guys. They were in the military, and they were in Iraq or whatnot, and they were in scientists were in there. I don't know if he was chipped them or whatever, but once again, the rest of them died and two of them still stayed alive.
Right.
One of them ended up being the president, and his mom was right along with him, conducting them and stuff.
Oh, what the hell?
Yes, and they triggered off them to be in mind control by saying their full name, and they would it would snap them out of their regular condition.
So some people may say, "Oh, that's the Manchurian Candidate," but I don't think it's the Manchurian Candidate. I think it's something else. But it was two, and his mom was all in. She was like all in.
Yes, she was. And at the end, his mom and him end up dying because
yeah, it just came.
I'm trying to think of what his name that was. That even he's the name.
I can't see the actor, so I remember the storyline.
Right. But my point of what I'm trying to make, this was in the 90s when they made this movie. So once again, most movies that I watch, it has me just think outside the box.
Yep.
Because anything is possible. Yeah. Anything is possible.
So
and if we think it's not.
If your mind can think of it, it possibly can happen.
Or it can possibly be created, or it's been created.
Or it's been created.
Right.
Exactly.
So on those aspects, but going back to
the movie. Yeah, no, we like way off.
Right. But going back to the movie, this is just more on a, once again, robotic base, still control. But my question is, I know in the real movie, she did have the brain. She still had her brain.
Right.
Now, in the anime, was that the same? She still had her brain?
So with the anime, which is really interesting, the ghost is the soul. So even the brain wasn't really there.
Right.
But the soul of the person was there.
Still there. In the
so
body.
When they start talking about, oh, well, your ghost is still existing, and like the little robots that goes around, they was creating or coming about having a ghost.
Right.
Meaning there was a soul, a consciousness that says what I should and shouldn't do, and not actually being programmed.
Exactly.
So she had, most of her body was cybernetic, but I think on the movie it was her brain, because the anime believe in the soul.
Exactly.
Where Americans don't want to hear about the soul.
No, they
if you
don't.
do that, then it's about,
spiritual.
Did you go to church?
But see, when it comes down to the anime, that's on a Japanese, Chinese basis. They are very spiritual basis.
Yep, exactly.
So that's understandable. But just like you said, on just transferring to an American and human wise, we have to make it kind of more understanding for American, kind of
more
slower.
Simple,
more
right. Simple and all. So there was a controversy about the main character not being Asian. So I was like, well, if you look at the anime, she's not really Asian, or if she's Asian, she's kind of, but they said it wasn't right and blah, blah, blah. So spoiler alert, she was actually Asian. They just made her look more so like an American woman, because the actual person she was in Asian. Because remember, toward the end, she went to see her mother.
Went her mother. Right, that's right.
And her mother was an Asian woman.
That's right, yep.
So her soul or her ghost was actually Asian.
Exactly.
So when people was complaining, maybe the main star happened to be a white woman,
right,
but the soul of the person is Asian.
But see, that's what's wrong with people. They want to critique everything else. She did a fantastic job with the act. I mean, fantastic. I didn't even think about that. That's funny. People want to critique everything, but just look at the movie in general.
So let's look at movies though. So looking at the movie, I agree. But looking at movies,
right?
The problem with looking at movies, they don't want to highlight what they call is whitewash.
Right.
Anything that's Asian, I like it, but I'm gonna put white people in it.
Exactly.
There's an African movie. I like it, but I'm gonna put white people.
Right.
in
it.
Right. This is from Europe. We're gonna put all white people.
Right.
So when you whitewash that, people of color and other ethnicities or whatever say, "Man, that's bullshit."
Exactly.
You're taking away something that should have the essence of who would really be on there.
Exactly.
In this case, I think they did it somewhat tastefully because they had to put a main star.
Exactly.
So to attract people to it.
Right.
But in the end, the character was Asian.
Yeah, she was pretty much.
So come on now. I mean,
she still was.
Maybe maybe he could have shown her a little more.
Maybe slanted her eyes. Maybe did a little bit of that.
Leave her the way that is. But they should have showed the true character of that's who she is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who she really is that person.
Right.
And they show her a lot more to let you know that even though she looks like Scarlett Johansson here,
Right.
this is who she really is.
Exactly.
This young Asian girl.
Right.
And then you'll say, oh, I get it.
Right.
But I don't think that was as clear.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't clear.
And to think about it, no, that wasn't very clear.
Right.
But I'm a movie person. I'm just looking at it all in general. Of the acting and all of that, the storyline and all that, that's very important to me.
You grew up that way.
Yeah, I did. And I'm not looking on a color basis. But if the acting's bad, if it's black, white, Asian, or whoever, it's just bad. It's just a bad acting or a bad act. That's just basic. Mm-hmm. But overall, like I said, she did a fantastic job.
So I think she did great, and especially when you see the anime, and that character, she was a little more colder than the anime.
Yeah, but that is what I had realized when I seen anime, because it's like what I brought up earlier when we was just talking about. She was very outgoing in anime, because when they was on the boat in the movie, he asked her for a beer and stuff. She said no. But on the movie, she took it casually, talking with him, and we cool. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But she was just uptight in the movie, and I did think that they shouldn't have made like that, because she wasn't like that on the movie, and it should have been no reason why she couldn't be outgoing in the movie.
So again, I think the directors and the people that was in charge wanted to say she's cybernetic and she's concerned on who she really is.
Yeah, exactly.
And I
focusing
think they
on
put
the big
too much on that, except for giving her a personality. Exactly.
Right. She has a brain at that.
Yeah.
There shouldn't have been no reason why she didn't have a personality.
Even though they altered her brain, her memories and everything.
Right.
But remember, she was getting flashbacks.
That's
why they was giving her those pills.
Yep. To try to die her down from
cool.
it. Yeah.
That was cool too.
But it was very detailed. I still like the storyline. Whoever was the people who produced it, they did do a fantastic job. For someone that ain't never seen the anime,
it's a good
standalone. That would be considered as okay, I can understand. But seeing the anime and that, not to say that it's bad or anything, but that personality of her, because she is a main character. There should not have been no reason why did the guy with the eyes have more personality than her.
Yeah.
That didn't make any sense. He still had it in the in the anime, but it shouldn't have been no reason why she couldn't have it with him, because they were close.
Yeah.
And she
that's what it was.
She was hidden from him. Like, they weren't like they were cool, but they weren't. Like, what is it gonna be?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But they were hanging.
Yeah, they were.
So throughout the series in the anime, that was her boy.
Regardless.
They always hung out. So if there was anybody, even when she went away, he was looking for her.
Sure was.
And it was kind of like, look, I'm gonna hook you up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna always look out for you.
This is my dog.
That's my dog.
That's my road dog.
Go.
That's
exactly.
true loyalty to that base. But another part that had got me too was in the anime that I seen when the little big spider thing, the robot thing came.
Oh yeah.
It was great in the movie. There was a lot of action in the movie. But in the anime, her arms ripped off.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? She was supposed to, her arms were supposed to rip off.
Totally.
And her homie came through and saved the day. You know what I'm saying? On that aspect. But I did like how they twisted that around, because the guy she did know that was hacking into everybody, whatever, she did know him or whatever. And they got that connection or whatnot. But that awakened her up to a whole different outlook too, because you know, and it kind of all played together, because I don't know if they pulled from the series too. They kind of, so it was kind of cool. It kind of worked together on a movie basis.
So if you was looking at movie to movie, it wasn't. But if you watch the series, you find out that I think the Laughing Man or one of them was telling her, you're someone else.
Right.
This ain't who you are.
Yeah.
You wasn't just created.
Exactly.
This is who you are. And
that the fact that more than one was created, you weren't the first one.
Yep.
They tried to betray to her, like, you're the only one and all of that, but it was all a lie. And just like he said, well, I'm one of them. I was one of them. Yep. I failed, and they gave up on me, and they moved on to create another one. Exactly. And that's just, to me, what any scientist would do anyway. If one project fails, then they're gonna go back to try it again try it again.
So a clone.
Exactly.
Until they get the right clone, they're gonna keep cloning, and then it's gonna be like, here's the right one.
Yeah.
and just go from that.
Exactly.
So
and that's similar. Actually, what that is kind of close to based upon is cloning, because cloning is going to take multiple times before they can get the right one. She became out to be beyond what their expectations was from the last testing of all the other ones.
Once again, it was the damn military trying to get, because Section 9 is a military unit,
right,
that does covert stuff, just like a Special Forces or the Navy SEALs.
Right.
It's that type of organization, but all of them are like half cybernetic and whatever like that. So I thought that was cool, even from the anime, but in the movie, it looked a lot better. For some reason, I understood it a lot more,
right,
in the movie, because they put it in an American way.
Yeah, they did.
As opposed to in the anime, it didn't seem. It seemed like they were some private organization.
Yeah, they did make it seem like they were private, and that's where I did get a little confusing when I had watched the anime, and I was like, What are they? What kind of group are they? What kind of association were they? I was a little confused with that, but they were straightforward with that in the movie, and they did all come back together. But I know the main guy, the little Asian dude, I did love the part where he went to the car.
Oh, yeah.
That one was a beast, though. I love that part.
I was like,
I
whoa.
love him, though.
Yeah.
He did a fantastic part on there. They all played a great part.
For the kind of movie it was,
yes.
it was, to me, it was good.
Yes, it was.
You know, if someone say, it wasn't as good as I got that. I got you.
But we can't compare it to an anime because this is a movie versus an anime. Just like, for example, from it being Japanese to American, and we're talking about Ringo, like the new ones that's out, versus the American Ring. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. And once again, the producers, depending on the producers, if they're Asian or whatever like that also matters on that, because most of the time they have to slow it down for Americans. Yeah,
because we have a way of looking at things and seeing certain things that
and they have to get a better understanding mentally wise in the head to understand what's going on, to make it more basic.
So that the colonel or whatever his name was, his name is Takashi Kitano, and he played. So I saw a bunch of his movies. I saw the Satachi, the blind swordsman. He played that.
Okay.
He played one called Outrage and Beyond.
I think I've seen that one.
He played in Brother. I think he played on the American version and the Japanese version. So, he played on a bunch of movies that I've seen. What's the other one? Boiling Point, Battle Royale. That's when those people, I think all those kids came to that island and they was killing each other.
Really?
That shit was awesome.
Wow.
You ever get to see that? Battle Royale. Really good.
Look that one up.
Yeah. So he played on a bunch of this, a couple of other ones that they have here. I think they put his most popular ones in there, but I saw a bunch of his movies. But he's a great actor.
I was about to say,
he's kind of so low key, but strong. You know what I mean? Yeah, he gives you that. And
he does.
Like, wow,
I do like, and you know what? Those are good. Those are good actors and actresses to keep within movies because they play the part very well. They put themselves in the part, which makes them feel like that's them. They're the real people in the movie, and that's what makes a good movie in those aspects. So he was fantastic, though.
So if you get to see him, that's Takashi Kitano. If you get to see any one of his movies from Japan, because he's Japanese,
right?
He's a very good actor, and you'll see the intensity more so when he's in the movies that he's in.
Okay.
So very good, very good. So.
Pretty cool.
Actor. So overall, out of 5, what would you give it?
I'll actually give it a 4.
Really?
Yeah, I'll give it a 4.
Okay.
I was pushing it on a 5, but I would just have to say 4.
So you're really nice when you give it out. So
well, yeah,
I've seen a lot of good movies.
I
don't think it was a 4.
I really did actually liked it though. I actually really did like it. But and I watch a lot of movies. But I thought that one was really good.
So it was entertaining.
It was.
So I'm going to mention a movie, but I'm going to, before I mention the movie, I'll give it a 3.5. And the only reason why I say 3.5 is because I've seen the Ghosts in the Shell series.
Right.
So I had some expectations of it. I knew they mixed the storylines within them. I think they could have done a little better with matching her.
Yeah,
the way the
that's
anime
why I
was.
had to go down.
And the director could have done a little better with certain other things, but that doesn't make it a bad movie. So that's why I said a 3.5.
Okay.
I would, if they would have done just a little more, I would have easily gave it a 4.
Yeah.
I would have easily gave it a 4. But
No, I can see. I understand your outlook on that because
Right.
that is what killed me once I seen it again. I was like, oh my gosh, so she really was a cool type person.
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
would hang out with her.
Exactly.
But with her being in the movie, I'd be a little iffy. Like, what?
she got some
You is
problems.
tripping.
What's
Are
your
you
attitude?
okay?
What's
Right.
wrong with your ass?
Right. So that really had got me. But overall, she still had that from Lucy.
Yeah.
Still that whole Lucy
right,
thing.
Right.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
yeah, so it was that kind of.
A lot of people actually, and it was funny because a lot of people was like, "Is that the next Lucy?" No, that's not.
It's a totally different
Ghost
movie.
in the Shell is an anime. This ain't got. But once they seen her same little look, they imaged Lucy. But she did have the same kind of personality, slick on a Lucy basis, which they shouldn't have went. They shouldn't have went there with her because Lucy was a great movie, and she had a reason on why she was the way she was on that.
On the back end of it, it got too much sciencey.
Yeah, it did. Oh
You know,
yeah, that
at
movie.
the beginning, it was like, oh, what? Now she's there. Then it's kind of like, oh,
Yeah,
my
that
God.
was. Yeah, it did get a little
Now
like.
I gotta have a
how
degree
can
in
you
physics
get,
and-
how can you get people flying in the ceiling? Like really?
And then you get shot.
Right.
Yeah,
Very
you're like
weird.
a god.
And
but
how
you-
did you transfer to a computer? That got me at the end too.
So the thing is, it's just so much was going on.
it was.
I think it led to a great point,
Yeah, it did.
but then it just accelerated to what the?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It really did.
Yeah.
I think it really did. They just chopped that like, okay, now you went beyond. But it was very knowledgeable because
So
it
that's
taught you
why I
about
liked
the
it.
brain.
Yeah. That's what I liked about it. I think because it was very imaginative, it made you think through some things.
Exactly.
And then it made you overthink. And then
It
you was
did.
kind of
You
gave
know,
up.
okay,
like,
slow it down.
whatever. Yeah,
Slow it down.
She's in the computer now.
A lot of people thought that was the second Lucy, but she did have the same personality to me, like how she did have it in Lucy.
And I agree.
They shouldn't have
you can
did
tell
that.
the difference. I mean, you can tell the similarities, not the difference. The similarities in the character.
Right.
And you kind of like,
But
okay.
but a lot of the movies they do try to put her in to do be on a serious matter. But she has dealt with some comedy. She did have a new one that she has a little comedy with her, you know.
But remember, she's in the Avengers.
Yeah,
she's,
she was.
Black Widow.
Right.
Which she has personality.
She
there.
did have personality in there, and
She's
I like that with
joking
her.
and- yeah, so our Marvel fans, we all waiting for her movie standalone. So you can say she's doing her own movie.
Right.
So now that she keeps doing movies like this,
sci-fi. She been doing a lot of sci-fi.
I think they pushing her toward that. I think she's a better actress than that. But
I
she's doing
believe
a lot
she
of
is,
action
too.
movies.
Because she did great in those movies as the part she did do. But of course, that still conduct well on how the director want her to be. But she could do it. I believe she can work beyond whatever they want her to do. It's just the fact that you should have had it left it within the Lucy part. No, just don't.
You should have separated that because now you're getting you're confusing people or you disappointing people.
Yeah, you are.
Because like, wait a minute, I thought this was going to be
This is not the same
separate.
thing.
It's a
yeah,
whole different thing.
And then people that actually watched the anime was still looking probably for that same personality that she was in the anime, but the fact that she didn't bring it at all.
Yeah.
She didn't bring that personality.
Because in the anime it was all about the soul. Mm-hmm. In the movie, it was about
The brain
and your existence before you.
Right.
So it was memories,
Yeah.
not your soul.
Exactly.
And the thing is, the Japanese is all about the spiritual soul
They
that
are.
exists. That's why they say machines have soul.
Mm-hmm.
If you work with machines and machines do things, it has a soul.
Right.
And you're like, wow, that's pretty weird.
It is kind of weird to think of that basis. I would have never thought about that as you bring that up. But if you think about it, machines malfunction just like us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It has to be rebooted, has to restart back up. Or restart is kind of like them
it
sleeping
has
and
to
waking back up.
Recalculate.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have to make a decision and you make the wrong decision, what do? You
gotta go back and-
recalculate. And
Got
if
to go back.
a system or a computer is doing some type of function and something alters that, it has to recalculate.
Exactly.
And that's learning.
That's right.
So as it learns, it becomes, and it has its own existence in a sense.
Exactly.
So that's what the Japanese was really do with a lot of their movies.
Right.
Is when it comes to that, it becomes more human.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes its own character and personality, which in turn has a soul.
Exactly.
So, because it's really cool that way. I like it. I enjoy it.
Right.
But no, I say a 3.5. If they would have just tightened up some things, I think I would have easily gave it a 4 and said, because I want to see it again.
Yeah,
because I thought it was a good movie to see.
And I actually want to see it again too, just to have a second look and just to get the whole layout. But I'm pretty sure I'll have a different outlook the second time around than the first. But I was still kind of blown away because I didn't think about the Lucy, didn't think about the movie, just watched the movie as it was. Yeah. But the fact that I seen the anime now and with me rewatching it again, then I am going to be, paying a little more attention with me seeing the anime again to say, oh, okay, I see, with the parts that you said, which I can remember it. I remember a lot of the movie, but it is still going to be, like you said, some parts like, you could have did better with that. Yeah. You could have changed that.
Yeah, you didn't need to have that in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary. Some of that to me with the shit was unnecessary because to me, they could have put that in a second one.
Yeah.
I would have seen that rolling over in the second one because I can see they have a lot of action to go on with this, even with it being an American movie or whatever.
But they have a lot of product. They have a lot of stories because they can go through the series now.
Yes, they can.
So they don't have to. That was based on the movie and some of the series.
Right.
But if you break up the series, like the Laughing Man series or the other couple of series,
you can still come back.
You can have a lot more.
Well, I believe they're going to come back with another one. The fact how the end went.
Do you know they made more money overseas, like in China and Japan, than they did in the United States?
About the movie?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people haven't seen that.
No. The Japanese and they've seen the anime.
Right.
But they was okay with it not being a damn Asian person.
But no, I could be understanding to them being understanding to that because at the end of the day, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
But once again, what I mean about here, most of these people ain't seen that anime.
You're right,
I don't know a lot of people that even watch animes like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're like, oh, this is
I don't watch cartoons. No, this is not cartoons.
Exactly. People look at it on a cartoon basis. Yeah. And to be honest, anime will have you have that outlook on a lot of different on American movies. I love Japanese and all the movies. It's very detailed. It has you think on a realistic type of basic thing.
Anime is made like a movie.
It is.
It just happened to be animated.
It just happened to be anime. And you don't have to use so much, with effects and stuff like that. It goes with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But with a movie basis wise, you have to actually put so much into that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of graphics and all of that they would have to put into that. So that's
just
different.
to replicate something like that.
Exactly. Yep. So with an anime, you can go on and on and on and on. You can go with a 10-hour fight if it's necessary. But my thing is they can do that because it's not as much graphics you would have to put into it with it being in a human form. So
or like some of them, because I know you saw some of them with me, is some of the anime when you looking at it, the emotions that you're trying to get from a actor, you can easily do it with an animated character.
Yeah, you can.
Real quick. They're crying and you can see that, wow, their life is really bad.
Exactly.
And they show that with the animated person.
Right.
So it's not a problem.
No.
And that's what they do because they got regular stories that's animated. And some of them are animals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, what the hell?
Right.
But it's a good story.
But it's different. You should want to get any movie, cartoon, whatever, as long as it has a purpose and a meaning. That's what you should look for in any movie and video or whatever or anime that you watch. It's a purpose. Get the meaning out of it.
Yep.
And get the understanding out of it. And then say, okay, and then you go from there. But to critique what kind of person is acting and all that, that's not what it's for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
the movie's a movie.
It is, regardless. It's either you like it or you don't, regardless of the actors and actresses. But like I said from the beginning, if it's gonna be a good actress, a bad actor, whatever, that's just what it's gonna be.
So if
and
it's
then
bad,
that's
it's
gonna
bad.
decline the movie. Like, it's not gonna be a good movie then. But other than that, watch the movie as for what it is. You know what I'm saying? And everything else, you just go from there. Everybody has their own opinion on it, so give your opinion on basis of the movie and keep it as it is.
Yep.
Because people
Well,
want
if
to
it would have
critique.
been Asian, you don't
Right.
know that.
Come
you
on
don't,
now.
You can't tell me she didn't do a good work. Well, but if an Asian,
But
just
she
like
would have
what's
been
his name?
better.
Samuel L. Jackson says, they shouldn't be using these British black people. What?
That doesn't make any sense.
Nigga, what? Well, anything that's going on, we would have gave a better perspective because we live here and we know about it. An actor is an actor.
I mean, actor is an actor because
actor.
they're faking something. It's not that they're faking. They are reading a script and acting it out on what their place is in the movie. If it's a mother, father, daughter, son, or whatever the case is.
But it's more than reading because you got actors who says, I need to become this person.
Right.
So you got
that's a real actor.
The good actors try to find the history behind a character.
Exactly.
So if you're going to be a drug addict, they're going to go around and deal with drug addicts.
Right. To see
find
how
out
I can be able to act like.
Exactly.
And that remind me of Jamie Foxx in the movie he did.
Yep.
With I forgot which.
Who, the Ray Charles one?
Yeah, the Ray Charles. He actually went into everything, got all his information about it to play that role the way he did. And he did a fantastic job
Amazing
on that movie.
Amazing job.
Because he actually went into the place of being him.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted.
The best actors do that.
Yeah.
You got good actors that do...
They just want
who
to play
does
the
script
role.
and play the role. And like, I want to be a hero.
Right.
Okay. But then there's some people that's like, I will become.
Those that exceeded, those are the ones that those movies hit top. Those are like the A+ type movies because can't nobody, it's not no remake of this.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be hard for someone to take this place to redo this again because you have to be in the part to play that. Yeah. And anybody that's playing a part of anybody that's passed away or whatever, you better bring it. Because you're playing someone that's history. You know what I'm saying?
So I didn't want to see, what is that? I forgot the name of it, but it was Jackie Robinson, the black guy. He was on there and he played the Jackie Robinson movie. I think it's 42.
I think I do remember. I haven't seen that.
So guess what? Very good movie.
It was.
Yeah.
Really?
It was a very good movie.
Okay.
I didn't think it would be, but I sat down and watched it and I was like, wow, this is pretty good. They put in just enough for you to learn what went on,
right?
Without being too racist,
right? On a slavery base, because that was back in the day.
Yeah, not being the white man's the hero,
right?
It was a lot of good things that said, okay, I
can go.
Good movie,
that. Right?
This is, if I sit down and look at it again, I'll be okay with it.
Right?
He went through a lot.
Well, we
but
know that.
They didn't put a lot in there.
Bro, they
put
wasn't going
enough
to,
in there.
Because that was going to shift in the wrong direction.
Exactly.
To look at who? The white folks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, But
it was good. And he played a really good role on that.
Okay.
Film. So he was good on there. So if you happen to see that, that's kind of worth it.
I'm not really big on the little sport kind of movies, but I do like the history ones.
Yeah, so it's more than the sports in this.
Right.
So when you look at the history, because I thought it was sports kind of movie, and I don't like those either. Like the little football characters, and
they're good at time to time.
The best football one is Any Given Sunday.
I do like that one. Yeah, that one was a real good one.
Yeah. So, but a lot of the other ones, I could do without it.
So.
Yeah.
Just a copy.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
Exactly. So but. Thanks. This was a good. I enjoyed them both.
I did too.
I was pleasantly surprised that it was close enough. But even as a standalone, even if you didn't see the anime, you can look at the movie and say, "Wow, this was a good movie."
Yeah.
That's why I gave it a 3.5.
Well, I know who I was with that I watched the movie with. I haven't seen the anime, but seeing that, and yes, he enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable because that's just versus someone that ain't seen the anime at all. So, looking on that basis, it was still good, but it's just all what type of movie people do like too. Because a lot of people, ain't big on that sci-fi thing.
That's true.
So that's that, because sometimes it just like you were saying with the Lucy, it just went kind of a little beyond at the end.
On the end,
just
though.
a little extra.
But it was a pretty good on the front
Right.
end. But
But yeah, sci-fi be going too far, so it was still good. I give the applaud of that, not going too far in the extreme with the sci-fi part.
Yep.
Just right.
just right. It was just right.
So
thank you, Milan. I
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it. And we'll see Milan a little more. We got a couple
Yes,
other
you will.
movies that we're doing together. Because I love to have her input, just like you just seen. But we appreciate you coming by Urban Lifestyle Cafe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Awesome.